Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is video number 252, and today's lecture number 12 is based on pricing practices, and this is a series of lectures on introduction to managerial economics. We start with pricing of multiple products. If there are products with interrelated demands, and we will also keep in mind plant capacity utilization and optimal product pricing. Then we will discuss optimal pricing of joint products, fixed proportion or variable proportions. We start with the products with interrelated demands. Let us suppose there is a firm which is producing two products, one is A and one is B. The margin revenue function of the firm R, margin revenue from product A is equal to change in total revenue by producing A divided by change in quantity of A plus delta TRB divided by delta QA. Similarly, MRB is equal to delta TRB divided by delta QB plus delta TRA divided by delta QB. Plant capacity utilization. A multi-product firm using a single plant should produce quantities where the margin revenue from each of its K products is equal to the marginal cost of production. That is, MR1 is equal to MR2 up to MRK, and that must be equal to MC. Here in this figure, we see the optimal outputs and price of multiple products by a firm. DA, DB, and DC are the demand curves for the products A, B, and C sold by the firm, and MRA, MRB, and MRC are the corresponding margin revenue curves. The firm maximizes profits when MRA is equal to MRB is equal to MRC, and that is equal to MC. This is shown by point EA, EB, and EC, where the equal margin revenue, that is EMR curve, at the level at which MRC is equal to MC crosses the MRA, MRB, and MRC curves. Therefore, QA will be equal to 60 and price of A will be equal to $16. QB will be equal to 90 and PB will be $15 and QC will be equal to 180 and PC, that is price of C product, will be equal to $14. Note that each successive demand curve is more elastic and the price of each successive product is lower while its MC is higher. Here in this figure we show optimal output and prices of joint products produced in fixed proportion, and in this diagram we show profit maximization with joint products produced in a variable proportion. Proportions, you may go through this detail which is given below this figure. And then we discuss price discrimination. Price discrimination means charging different prices for a product when the price differences are not justified by cost difference, and the objective of the firm is to attain higher profits than would be available otherwise. That is, the objective of the price discrimination is to maximize its profit. Price discrimination. Firm must be an imperfect competitor or a price maker, then it can exercise price discrimination. And price elasticity must differ for units of the product sold at different prices. Firm must be able to segment the market and prevent resale of units across market segments. There are three types of price discrimination: first degree, second degree, and third degree price discrimination. First degree price discrimination means each unit is sold at highest possible price. Firm extracts all of the consumer surplus and the firm maximizes total revenue and profit from any quantity sold. And the second degree price discrimination means charging a uniform price per unit for a specific quantity, a lower price per unit for an additional quantity, and so on. And firm extracts part but not all of the consumer surplus. Here in this figure, we show first and second degree price discrimination. With D as the demand curve faced by a monopolist firm, the firm could sell quantity equal to 40 units at price 2 for a total revenue of $80, and that is the area of the rectangle CFOG. Consumer, however, would be willing to pay ACFO, that is $160 for 40 units for the product. The difference of 80 and the area of the triangle is the consumer surplus. With first degree price discrimination, the firm can extract all of the consumer surplus from consumers. If, however, the firm charged the price P equal $4 per unit for the first 20 units of the product and $2 per unit for the next 20 units, the total revenue of the firm would be $120, so that the firm would extract $40 of the area of the rectangle BKGH, or half of the consumer surplus from the consumers. This is called second degree price discrimination. Here in this diagram we show both the first degree price discrimination and the second degree price discrimination, and I discussed the definition earlier. And again, in this diagram you also see if the firm practices first degree price discrimination, charges $2 per unit and sells 40 units, then the total revenue will be equal to $160 and consumer surplus will be zero. If the firm practices second degree price discrimination and charges $4 per unit for the first 20 units and $2 for the second next 20 units, then the total revenue will be equal to $120 and consumer surplus will be equal to 40. So half of the consumer surplus will be reduced. Third degree price discrimination means charging different prices for the same product sold in different markets, and the firm maximizes profits by selling a quantity on each market such that the marginal revenue on each market is equal to the marginal cost of production. Here is a numerical example of third degree price discrimination Q1, Q2, and you see P1 will be equal to $7 and Q1 will be equal to 50 and Q2 will be equal to 40 and P2 will be equal to $4. So this is third degree price discrimination. Here we can also see this is the third degree price discrimination, in which there are two sub-markets, market 1 and market 2, and the C panel of this diagram shows total market. So we can see the third degree price discrimination. International price discrimination. We could have persistent dumping, predatory dumping, then temporary sale at or below cost designed to bankrupt competitors and trade restrictions apply, and there could also be sporadic dumping, that is occasional sale of surplus output. Transfer pricing. Pricing of intermediate products sold by one division of a firm and purchased by another division of the same firm. It is made necessary by the decentralization and the creation of semi-autonomous profit centers within firms. And here is the example of transfer pricing of the intermediate product with no external market. And this is the transfer pricing of intermediate product with a perfectly competitive market. And here in this figure we see transfer pricing of intermediate product with an imperfectly competitive market. So this one is imperfectly competitive market and this one is perfectly competitive market. Pricing in practice, cost plus pricing. Markup or full cost pricing, fully allocated average cost, average variable cost at normal output, and allocated overhead. A markup on cost M is equal to P minus C divided by C, and price will be equal to P, and that is equal to C into 1 plus M. And here are some formula for pricing in practice. Optimum markup, and MR is equal to P into 1 plus 1 divided by price elasticity, and P is equal to MR into price elasticity of demand divided by price elasticity of demand plus 1, and MR should be equal to C. So finally we have P is equal to C into EP divided by EP plus 1. And there is some more detail. Then we have pricing in practice, incremental analysis. A firm should take an action if the incremental increase in revenue from action exceeds the incremental increase in the cost of the action, and this is a pricing in practice. Two-part tariff, we have this case, we have tying, we have bundling, prestige pricing, price lining, skimming, value pricing. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important part of this presentation or this lecture is that of price discrimination. This is one policy by the monopolist or imperfectly competitive firm in a market, and there are three different types of price discrimination. First degree, in which all of the consumer surplus is taken by the firm, and then we have second degree price discrimination, in which part of the consumer surplus is taken and part of the consumer surplus go to the consumers, and then we have third degree price discrimination, in which the market is segmented, and depending upon the level of demand and marginal cost, then different prices are charged from different consumers. So this was a brief presentation about pricing practices in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, kindly click on this red button with subscribe, and then do not forget to click on bell icon so that you can get notification about my other videos that I will upload for you people. And I would also like you people to like, share this video and the channel with your friends, with your colleagues, with your students, so that majority of the stakeholders can get benefit from this channel and video lectures. I thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in another video.